A retired North Texan who's led a remarkable life is sharing his thoughts about leadership, character, and how to empower people. Dan Godwin has more in tonight's Fox Forward.
We are all formed to a large extent by our life experiences, and James Capra has plenty of them to draw upon, allowing him to share some valuable lessons. James is a resident of Argyle, Texas, in Denton County. For 30 years, he worked at the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. When he retired 3 years ago, he was chief of global operations for the DEA, overseeing 10,000 people in the U.S. and overseas. He's also a veteran of 3 branches of the U.S. military. James Capra, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me.
These days, you are head of the Frontline Leadership Group. Now, you've written 3 books that explore that subject in different ways. You also provide training to law enforcement agencies, corporations, other large organizations on leadership. So is it something that you feel is really lacking in major organizations?
Yeah, I think it's lacking all the way around. If you just look what's going on in our culture and our climate and our society, leadership is a personal thing. I mean, it should be very, very personal and real. And I call it, we've almost forgotten how to lead from the heart, what that means to really care about people. What does it mean to develop relationships? And I talk about developing relationships of trust and learning how to love and care about people. And that's sometimes a hard thing for leaders to grab a hold of when you tell them, hey, you got to learn how to love people, and it sets them back.
There are no doubt some people, you've maybe heard from them, who say, oh, well, James is advocating something kind of touchy-feely, warm and friendly, but hey, you know, I live in the real world.
Right. Well, let me tell you something. There are study after study about trust, that companies that have a high trust factor outperform other companies that don't. Companies that have developed an outstanding culture of trust outperform other companies by 300%. Now, Dan, think of that, 300%. If I was to tell you, if you were a CEO, said, would you like to improve production? Would you like to improve productivity by 300%? And by the way, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money in it. It's just how do you develop this philosophy of taking care of these people, develop a culture of trust, and that takes a willingness to develop relationships. And I get asked this all the time, and I argue with people. There are individuals that have argued with me and said, Jimmy, you don't understand. The bottom line is my quarterly profits. The bottom line is what my board wants. The bottom line, and I quit to stop them and say, no, you're missing your bottom line is your men and women who will take you there. And if they're led well, and they know that they're cared about, and they know that they're appreciated, they will take you to whatever goal you have, whatever mission that you have to accomplish. But if your position is the money is first, or in DEA we say, how many kilos you got to seize, how much money you got, is the first thing is taking care of those people who are going to get you to accomplish that mission, who are going to get you to the profits you need in your quarter.
All right, James Capra, thank you so much for the chat. Now, James has a book signing coming up for all 3 of the books he's written. We've got details on that event at our website. Just go to fox4news.com and click on